Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Or afternoon. Or evening.
Yeah.
Depending on the middle of the night. Wherever you might be and whenever you're watching this, hello to you. Welcome to another exciting episode of Bhagavatam Bites.
All right. It's Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 6.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
A very matchless kiss, by the way.
Yes, in case you hadn't guessed.
Alright, text 6. The 4 great sages were elder to Lord Shiva, and when they were seated on the golden throne, they appeared just like fire blazing on an altar. Maharaj Prithu, out of his great gentleness and respect for them, began to speak with great restraint as follows. Purport. The Kumaras are described herein as the elder brothers of Lord Shiva. When the Kumaras were born out of the body of Lord Brahma, they were requested to get married and increase the population.
They were requested.
That's what I said.
Oh, it sounded like you said they requested.
No. It's just English, proper English. In the beginning of the creation, there was a great need of population. Therefore, Lord Brahma was creating one son after another and ordering them to increase. At this point, we can pause and say, instead of ordering them to increase, why didn't you just create more people? You know, someone might think like that. I'm just saying.
Well, also, it says he's creating son after son. But who the heck are they going to increase with if there ain't no ladies, you know?
However...
And that sort of happens automatically if you just create ladies and the men will be like, oh,
not all people.
Not all people, you're exactly correct.
However, when the Kumaras were requested to do so, they declined. They wanted to remain brahmachari throughout life and be engaged fully in the devotional service of the Lord. The Kumaras are called Naishtika brahmachari, meaning they are never to marry. Because of their refusal to marry, Lord Brahma became so angry that his eyes became reddish. From between his eyes, Lord Shiva or Rudra appeared. That's the third eye. The mode of anger is consequently known as Rudra. Lord Shiva also has a Sampradaya party known as the Rudra Sampradaya, and they are also known as Vaishnavas. So they're really stressing the Rudra out. They even name the Sampradaya like that. Rudra Sampradaya. Jeepers. But anyway, Naishtika Brahmachari. So Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Goswami, was a Naishtika Brahmachari. He never married and he never engaged in any activities with a lady. And yeah, so I just thought I'd point that out. Whereas Prabhupada was a householder and, well, obviously, Bhaktivedanta Swami, his dad was a householder. It's his dad.
Yeah.
But interesting, and then if you go back, Jagannath Das Babaji.
Well, most of them are Babajis. Most in our Sampradaya Guru lineage are Babajis or sannyasis. But amongst the Mahajans, there are 7 grihastas and 5 renunciants. So like that.
Yeah, so it's very it's interesting because I just finished also reading Vishaka Mashi's book, which I really highly recommend, 5 years, 11 months, and in that she's very open and very honest. It's a nice book about the struggles as the movement gained momentum, and you have, unfortunately, these things anyway happen. There was a mood of yes, and saffron is higher and this and that, and the mood of looking down on the Grihastha ashram, women and that sort of. I'm pulling this out because the 4 Kumaras were there right at the beginning, and they wanted to remain strict and this. And then Lord Shiva comes, he's a householder, and like you said, the Mahajans, and even in our own lineage, the point is, it's irrelevant. The ashram, maybe it's controversial, it's irrelevant, the ashram.
No, it's not controversial.
It's actually of the heart. It's what's going on in the heart. Bhakti is, you could be this humble, sweet street sweeper and be dhira and extremely fixed and focused, more so than shock horror, someone living in a temple, and we look at them like, oh, they're on saffron and they're waking up every day and they're doing what they need to do. That I'm just a street sweeper and I just offer what I can, which is like some dried fruit, and I don't have anything. But they could be so much more.
Yeah, I mean, Bhagavad Gita says better a simple sweeper in the street than a charlatan devotee, or a mithyachara, a pretender. I was just thinking how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sent his sannyasi disciples, senior sannyasi disciples, to London to, spread Krishna consciousness amongst the Britishers. And they came back eating with knife and fork, wearing shirt trousers, something like that, pant trousers, somehow the English say. But then Prabhupada later sent, 3 grihasta couples with a little kid, and boom, Krishna consciousness spread all over the planet. So time, place, circumstance, Lord Chaitanya took sannyas, but specifically it's explained he took sannyas because there were certain persons getting away from the tidal wave of inundation with the Sankirtan Yajna and the love of Godhead. And those persons could only be captured by taking sannyas, because then they would be forced to offer him respects. That was the idea. But actually in Kali Yuga, it's one of the things that is barred or banned from Kali Yuga is taking sannyas, actually. But we see that if you take it for the right reason, then, for the principle of spreading Krishna consciousness, like that. Text 7. Prithu Maharaj is going to speak now. King Prithu spoke, "My dear great sages, auspiciousness personified, it is very difficult for even the mystic yogis to see you. Indeed, you are very rarely seen. I do not know what kind of pious activity I perform for you to grace me by appearing before me without difficulty." Purport. Now, I found it interesting in the previous verse, at the end it says, he began to speak with great restraint. And I thought that was interesting, because at first I thought if someone speaks with great restraint, it means they're holding back some nasty stuff they want to say. That's what I thought at first. But it's not. And of course, that's not what is happening. I think it's because out of his great gentleness and respect began to speak with great restraint as follows. I felt like what he was restraining was he was holding back emotion. Like he was holding back, like either his immense awe and reverence or his tears of ecstasy, like that. But anyway, so here we see that he's feeling very, very grateful and he's very gracious. Purport. When something uncommon happens in one's progressive spiritual life, it should be understood to be incurred by agyata sukriti, or pious activities beyond one's knowledge. To see personally the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his pure devotee is not an ordinary incident. Phew. There you go. Wow. When such things happen, they should be understood to be caused by previous pious activity, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7:28. Yesham twantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. one who is completely free from all the resultant actions of sinful activities and who is absorbed only in pious activities can engage in devotional service. Although Maharaj Prithu's life was full of pious activities, he was wondering, how has this, his audience with the Kumaras, happened? He could not imagine what kind of pious activities he had performed. This is a sign of humility on the part of King Prithu, whose life was so full of pious activities that even Lord Vishnu came to see him and predicted that the Kumaras would also come. So that's very powerful. So it's interesting reading this here, that some beautiful activity in the realm of bhakti is caused by pious activities, especially because at the moment we're reading Madhurya Kadambini by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, translation by Dinabandhu Prabhu Vrindavan, and we're reading it with the community care team. And the whole first shower, the chapters are called showers, the whole first shower is all about how bhakti is causeless, is not caused by anything. So even when we hear this, we should understand that it is completely the free will of Krishna to bestow bhakti on someone. And that's really hard to fathom, because we do read things like this also, that it must be because I've did so many pious activities. So it's not that someone wouldn't do pious activities if they practice bhakti, but it's not the cause. Bhakti can't be caused by pious activities or by impious activities. It can't be caused or affected by anything. So it's quite a deep subject matter, and one that probably I need to read that chapter several times to get it, because it is quite technical and deep. But anyway, just remembering that when reading this. And so I don't think it's a contradiction, because Krishna says, that one who is completely free from resultant activities, sinful activities, absorbed in pious activities, can engage in devotional service. So there may be a more natural inclination because of piety to take up bhakti, or it may be because of prior lifetimes of bhakti practice, one is naturally more pious in this life, if that makes sense. But it's not that pious activities have caused one's bhakti.
Controversial.
How's that controversial?
Because that's what you're always told, isn't it?
Who's told? You are always told. You, meaning all of you out there.
Yeah, that you do something good.
And you get something good.
Yeah.
But that's piety and good karma. That's punya. That's not bhakti.
So does that good karma lead you to, let me go to this temple? What is it?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
It may create a more favorable situation for the manifestation of bhakti,
Right.
but it is not the cause of bhakti. Yeah. Like if you have a field plowed nicely with great soil, rich dirt, even with cow manure mixed in, it's really fertile soil. That is not the cause of the fructification of vegetables growing in that soil. The seed has to be put in there. And that seed, just like the Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of bhakti, is planted by the spiritual master. But even that is a deeper discussion, because the bhakti is present within all of us instinctly and not inertly, but innately. So the field could be prepared nicely for the fructification and the continued growth. Like if your plant of bhakti starts to grow in the field and you neglect it, or you start fires in it, or throw stones into it, or let mad elephants loose in it, then that's going to not be beneficial for the bhakti, but none of that is the cause of the bhakti, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I'm glad that made sense. By Krishna's grace.
All right.
Prabhupada's mercy.
You want to read on, or?
I don't know, you're the boss. Let's see how long the next one
I'm
is.
not the boss.
Okay, let's just read one more.
Text 8. Any person upon whom the Brahmanas and Vaishyas are pleased.
Vaishnavas. Not Vaishyas. You said Vaishyas. You can rewind if you
I
want.
said Vaishnavas.
Okay.
Somehow I feel I'm being targeted in a racial profile way because I'm an Indian with a South London accent and he's got cloth ears. I said, well, I know Vaishnavas when I see a Vaishnav.
Clog ears.
Cloth ears. My point. Yeah, proved my point, didn't I? Any person upon whom the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased can achieve anything which is very rare to obtain in this world, as well as after death. Not only that, but one also receives the favour of the auspicious Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, who accompany... But not only that, but one also receives the favour of the auspicious Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, the father of Lord Brahma, who accompany the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Purport. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, you're saying so much! The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are the bearers of Lord Vishnu, the all-auspicious, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita Pramanjana
Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Shanta Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
The devotees, out of the extreme love for Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always carry the Lord within their hearts. The Lord is already in the heart of everyone, but the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas actually perceive and see him always in ecstasy. Therefore, Brahmanas and Vaishyas are carriers of Vishnu. I said Vaishnavas. Now you see, it's racial profiling. Wherever they go, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, or the devotees of Lord Vishnu are all carried. The 4 Kumaras are Brahmanas, and they visited the place of Maharaj Prithu. Naturally, Lord Vishnu and his devotees were also present. Under the circumstances, the conclusion is that when the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased with a person, Lord Vishnu is also pleased. This is confirmed by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his 8 stanzas on the spiritual master. Yashya Prasada Bhagavat Prasada. By pleasing the spiritual master, who is both Brahmana and Vaishnava, one pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased, then one has nothing more to achieve either in this world or after death. So there you go. We teach the devotee care course. We're available. Let us know. We travel, weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs. But when we teach the course, there's a slide in the devotee care course and the devotee care course taster, and it's Lord Krishna speaking to Arjuna and explaining that, you know, if one who says he's my devotee is not my devotee, but one who says he is a devotee of my devotee is my devotee. And then we always conclude that this is basically the essence of devotee care, which is simply to look after and please. And even if you don't want to look after them, just don't make them unhappy. Don't displease the devotees. And in this way, you gain the favour of Krishna, which is basically, if we didn't know this, is why we're here, why we're in the path of Krishna consciousness, because we want Krishna to be conscious of us, actually. Well, that's very esoteric and deep for a lot of people, but because some people think it's just me thinking of Krishna, yeah, but you got to behave yourself, and then you'll think of you and all. So here, the reason I brought that up is because it says here, Prabhupada's explaining that if you please the spiritual master, if you please the devotees, then basically you have nothing more to achieve in this world or after death, because you naturally will please Krishna. So it's like a win-win. It's so obvious, it's like, let me just think of different ways. Like, I was singing tomorrow, but I realised I will see some devotees today as well, so because I'll be back here in the evening for the Matchless Gifts program. So then you can concoct different ways. When I see such and such person, what would make him or her feel happy? What could I say? When I see this one, what could I say? Or is there something I can do? And in this way, speaking myself anyway, not to assume anything everyone else, but it keeps the mind focused on what it should be focused on, because there's so much stuff. Like, I'll be honest, hands that I just dressed the little, I call them little people, but the little deities at Bhakti Center, and it's interesting, isn't it, when you're a bit tired and whatever stuff going on, a lot of the time I have to bring it back. I was like, what is going on? It's like a TV. I've got the Lordships right in front of me, and I was like on some other channel, that Lord, So if you just, if you can't focus on God in front of you, then at least focus on, all right, when I see so-and-so later, like that, preoccupy the mind, because it needs to be preoccupied. What can I say to them? This and that. And, you could tally it up. You could tally up so much, like, good credit in Krishna's book, as it were. Like, damn, she did this, damn,
What is it? Don't try to act in such a way that you see God, but act in such a way that God sees you.
Yeah, and Bhaktivedanta Maharaj actually said that. I had it on a bookmark.
I have it inscribed in my heart. Perfect. So let's see what we can do to show love and care and respect and appreciation to other devotees today. Just try to think, what could I do today, just at least for one person, and try to do that. And if you do that every day, that is 365 powerfully impactful, positively inspiring
Krishna credits.
Acts of what is it? Acts of love. No, but there's a saying. Acts of
Krishna
love.
credits.
Yeah.
Krishna credits.
All right, everyone, we're gonna go. We're gonna let you go finally. Thank you for hanging around. Keep smiling, and don't forget to like,
comment,
subscribe,
share.
Yay! Hare
Krishna.